What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Celtics Daily Channel with me, Mike Zakarian, as we are collecting some W's last night. We're going to be talking about the Celtics and the Washington Wizards. We're going to get you caught up a little bit what's going on in the Eastern Conference, and then we got some Jaylen Brown updates that I'm ready to get into. But before we do that, hey, if it's your first time here, do me a favor. Hit the subscribe button. Get involved. Like the video. More importantly, get involved in the comments. That's what makes this so much fun. All right? So responding to you guys towards the end of the video. So make sure you get involved if you haven't done so. All right, good bounce back win. Listen, my vibes were down. My vibes were down the last time we did a video. I didn't do one yesterday, and most of you probably were like, wow, he must have been so sad. It wasn't that. It wasn't that. I just had no voice. I had no voice, and we're now slowly bouncing back, just like the Celtics. Yeah, the vibes are so bad after that Utah loss. I almost felt like I had to redo the video. I felt a little too cranky. You know, I don't want to be that guy that's like the sky is falling. I don't want to turn into a version of Stephen A. Smith or Skip Bayless, but man, it's just, I am, for the last, I don't know, 20 years, you just don't lose to the Jazz, right? That just never happens. And so to lose to the Jazz at home while they were on a back-to-back in the fashion that they did was a little bit tilting and concerning. So I did have a little pause when we took on the Wizards, but I got the W, 136-107. We are now one game under 500, and our next one is going to be tomorrow. There's weirdly only one basketball game on the NBA slate tonight, which is kind of dumb, but okay. And so tomorrow we return to cup action against the Orlando Magic. But let's talk a little bit about last night's stuff, because I thought all around pretty impressive performance. And let's give Peyton Pritchard a little bit of love here, because this is now the second game where I don't think we've seen peak Peyton Pritchard, the three Ps, if you will. We haven't seen peak Peyton Pritchard, but we have seen him start to knock down some shots, and that is making me feel a little bit better. And he's knocking them down earlier in the slate too, like earlier in the night. It's not just like in garbage time or whatever. We saw PP there get 18 points in this game and 5 assists, 2 for 6 from 3. So it wasn't like, again, nothing crazy, but still 2 for 6 from 3. We'll take it. Derek White did a little bit of everything in this game. He only had 12 points, but 2 for 5 from 3. He had 8 assists. He had 3 steals and 2 blocks. Was just kind of all over the passing lanes. And then how about Big Kata? Nemi showing out a little bit. 15 points, 12 boards, 8 of them on the defense. 8 of them on the defensive end, 4 on the offensive end. Also had 5 assists as well. He didn't miss a freaking shot. 7 for 7 from the field. You love to see that. Why not? My not? Highest scoring game of his career, I believe. I don't know. I'm just saying that. But I don't think he's ever scored over 20 points. I feel confident, kind of. 21 points and 5 boards. He had 3 steals as well. He went 3 for 6 from 3, 8 for 12 from the field. Everybody was knocking down shots. The Wizards like to play fast, but they don't defend at a fast level. So the Celtics were able to do whatever they wanted. But the real story was in 26 minutes, JB only played 26 minutes. Basically got to sit the whole fourth quarter. Poured in 35 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal, 13 for 21 from the field, 7 for 9 from the line, 2 for 4 from 3. Like, Jaylen was aggressive. He was getting to his spots. I mean, I don't even think he hit. I know he hit, what did I say? He hit, 2 threes. Those didn't come until either late in the second quarter or early in the third, because I remember Drew on the call. I was listening to the Celtics broadcast on the call, said like this was the first threes hit in a couple of games, because if you remember, it was like an 0 for 9 performance the night before, or the game against the Jazz. So the aggression, and I know like Celtics fans too tend to just be like, all we do is shoot 3-pointers, that's why we suck. And like, okay, but the reason we lost that game against Utah, I thought had less to do with three-point shooting, more to do with like lack of execution down the stretch. I mean, you got out-rebounded by 19, all of the things. We covered that, right? But what was nice to see was just the aggressiveness to the rack. Like, JB knew that they had nobody that could stay in front of him, that he could get to any single spot he wanted, and that's what he did. He beat him up, and it was a really, really good performance from him. The bench, it looks a little weird, right? Because of garbage time, everybody, we'll call it development time. Everybody played a little bit more than they normally do. Simon's got 30 minutes in this game. He had 18 points. He took 10 threes in this game, knocking down 4 of them. Sam Hauser, again, the second shooting night in a row where he couldn't Couldn't hit a damn thing. He played 22 minutes. He had 3 points, 3 assists, though, too. Okay, Sam. Jordan Walsh was out there. Walshy, let's give Walshy some love. Everybody give him a little clap for Walshy. He was very active on the boards or on the glass. He finished with 7 rebounds, 5 of them on the defensive end, but was just active, was just kind of all over the place again, filling in the lanes. Luka Garza got a little bit of run, Shireman a little bit of run, and then Ugo had 5 points, 2 for 4 from the field. Minot had like a beat. He attacked the rim one time. I think he like threw it down on somebody. Looked awesome, and then I think they reversed it and called it an offensive foul, which was pretty lame. But then looked like he tweaked an ankle for a little bit and then just ran it off. Did not come out of the game. Missoula didn't even think about taking him out of the game. And it looked like he really rolled his ankle, but we'll take it, man. We'll take it. Minot seems okay. This was a good win. And I mean, you look at the rebounding, right? Like they grabbed 40 boards in this game I'm sorry, the Wizards grabbed 40 boards in this game. So did the Celtics. They basically were dead even. The Wizards got 1 more defensive board, but the Celtics got 1 more offensive board. They shot 39% from 3, 16 for 41, right? Finally starting to see like a good percentage after that like abysmal night before. But they didn't have anybody just beat him up. Like Alex Sarr looked pretty good early. Like he did pour in 31 points and 8 boards, but he was a minus 26 while he was out there, right? So he was doing it on one end and not on the other. Keyshawn George, who's been kind of on fire to start the season, he only had 9 points. He was held to 3 for 9 from shooting. CJ McCollum played 18 minutes, 1 for 10 from the field. And then Bilal Coulibaly played 16 minutes. He got dinged up in this game, so he didn't come back in. Excuse me, but again, you're supposed to beat the Wizards. The Wizards are 1-7, and you're coming off a loss. Like, if you don't win this game by like 15 or 20, what the hell are we doing? But it was good to see that they did it, right? And they were down. I'll be honest. I had Old Man Hoops game. So I played a 40 and over basketball league, so I missed the first quarter, and I'm glad I did because I also like just real quick on the 40 and ups, like. The game ended up being a forfeit because 2 guys got into like a fight. We're 40 and over. 2 guys got into a fight, both got ejected. The other team didn't have enough to play. Game over. None of us are athletic or talented enough to be yelling like that in a fight. Just like insanity. Therapy. But I missed anyway, sorry for that tangent. Missed the first quarter. The Wizards outscored the Celtics 37-26 in the first, but then the Celtics outscored them by 21 in the third, beating them 44-23, and then by 12 in the third quarter, and then even our backups, even the development time, they outscored them by 7 in the fourth. So good win for the Celtics. As I mentioned, they get the struggling Orlando Magic here on Friday. Magic, who, like, their vibes are really bad. You know, they were projected to be, like, a top 4 team in the East. Like, Paolo's still putting up numbers, but they make this big trade. They forfeit a lot of their future to go get Desmond Bane, and then Bane just hasn't worked out. Bane went like full Draymond Green the last game. He got himself ejected. He hasn't been able to shoot the ball. Jalen Suggs is only playing 20 minutes a game because he's still coming back from injury. So I'm curious to see how this matches up. Now, Orlando's kind of long, right? Like Paolo, Franz, Wendell Carter Jr., the guys they have coming off the bench, Tristan da Silva or whatever, but it's not your like typical bigs which have been beating up Boston. So I actually think this isn't the worst matchup in the world if they're able to slow down Paolo. Like if you can make somebody else beat you, I think the Celtics have like a legit shot to take this game. They're going to be on the road, and again, as I mentioned, the vibes are bad. Orlando is 3-5 to start the year. And what's so weird about this team, and I'm sure you remember this from the postseason, right? Orlando's like a scrappy, strong defensive team. They are playing maybe the 6th fastest in the league this year. That was going into their last game, but because they were playing Atlanta, and both of those teams are like the 5th and 6th fastest teams in the league. But they're not playing any defense. For whatever reason, the DNA of that team that was in there, that defensive DNA is just gone. And so, like, if there was ever a time to play Orlando, and I believe we play them on Friday, but then again early next week, I think it's like 2 games in a row. Now's the time to get them. Now is the time to get them because they don't look right and the vibes feel off. And so this should be fun. I mean, again, I know nobody puts a ton of stock into the Emirates Cup. like whatever. But you know who does? Like Baylor Shireman, Jordan Walsh, because you get some good money. Those younger guys get good money for getting down there. And just a reminder too, I'm gonna actually be out there. So on the semifinals, I believe, are Saturday, December 13th, and they do like 2 games back to back. I think it's like a 5 and a 7 or 5 and an 8, something like that. Or that's 5. Man, it must be earlier than that. It must be like 3 and 6 since it's West Coast time. Anyways, whatever. I'm going to both of those games on Saturday, and then the finals are on Tuesday. So I'm going out there. I finally booked everything yesterday, which is exciting. So if anybody's down, come hang. We'll do a meetup. We'll do a Celtics Daily meetup. Come hang. I guess wait to see if Boston's getting there. But anyways, now's the time to get them. Very exciting. Let's just quickly recap some of the JB stuff. So remember that play with Keontae George where he kind of went in and did like a Mortal Kombat move where he slipped and fell, slide tackled, whatever you want. Keontae slips. JB, this is, I think, a tie game or the Celtics have a 1-point lead. JB is going to attack. He starts to make his move, initiate his drive, and then trips over Keontae. And then there was just no call. After the game, I can't remember if we talked about this or not, but after the game, Jaylen Brown just kind of like dropped. He's like, I'm probably going to get fined for this. Dropped a couple of F-bombs, called out the referees and everything. But then in the 2-minute report that comes out the next day about the officiating, which I always think is the dumbest thing. They're like, I guess it's supposed to be accountability, but there's no action that comes from it. The 2-minute report comes out the next day, and they're just like, hey, we got this wrong. Sorry. Or they'd say, we got it right. You should shut up, right? Those are like the 2 things you can get. In this case, though, the NBA actually came out, and they were like, we're not going to fine Jaylen Brown. The referees missed the call. They did a bad job. But I thought it was pretty impressive that JB. That's how you know they messed up a call, because the league is usually very, very strict with calling out referees or officiating through the media. So for that to happen, for JB to do it explicitly and with some swear words, some cussing, and not get fined, that's how bad. That's how you know it was. They did a very bad job. So that's pretty funny, but. Congrats to JB. Has a highlight night last night against the Wizards and does not have to pay out. However, we did have another hair thing happen. I don't know if you saw the highlight. I think that was with Keyshawn George, where first of all, Keyshawn George wearing an undershirt. Come on, bro. You're a professional athlete. No undershirts. Get out of here. But had an undershirt on the jersey. Head went up against it, and then there was a little residue, a little something left. So never a dull moment with Jaylen Brown. Let's pop around the East quickly, because I just thought we should excuse me, see where we stand right now in the standings, if you will. Yuck, yuck, yuck. All right, so the Bulls, somehow the Chicago Bulls, 7 games into the season, are still in first place. They are 6-1. They had a big W the other night. I don't know if anybody saw the highlight of that, but Giddey with another 20-point triple-double finds Vucevic in the corner, knocks down a 3. They get the W over the Sixers. The Pistons, who I thought got off to a slow start, have now ripped off 4 wins in a row. They're 6-2. The Bing Bong. Now we've got a bunch of teams 5-3. The Bing Bong Boys. The Knicks are 5-3. Cavs got Darius Garland last night. They got a W. They're 5-3. The Milwaukee Bucks, after winning a game against the Pacers with Giannis hitting a crazy game winner, then they went to Canada and got smoked by Toronto. They're 5-3. The 76ers, who we've split with so far through 2 games, they're 5-3. Then we got 3 4-4 teams. So the 7 seed is the Hawks right now. They're 4-4. The Raptors are 4-4. The Miami Heat, who might have just lost Bam Adebayo for a little bit. He got hurt last night in the Denver game. They're 4-4. And then you have the Celtics right now clinging to that 10 seed right now to make the play-in if the season ended now. They're 4-5. So, geez, what did we say? We said a couple of times over the last few weeks, if we can get through to 500 through the first 10 games, I'll be happy. There's a lot riding on this game on Friday to get to 5-5. So come on, don't let us down. Behind them, we've got the Hornets with 3 wins and 5 losses. The Magic, I said 3-5. And then it's 3 teams that are 1-7. The Brooklyn Nets, the Indiana Pacers, and then you get the Washington Wizards. And then just quickly, a couple things from last night if you missed it. Jokic, it was like Eastern European night. Luka and Jokic went absolutely bonkers in this one. Denver, I mentioned, beat Miami and Bam got hurt. Jokic had a triple-double like halfway through the third quarter. He finished the game with 33 points, 15 rebounds, 16 assists, 3 steals. Just stupid stuff. And then Luka in the late game against Wemby got him in foul trouble. Wemby didn't do too much, had 19 and 8. Also, isn't that crazy? We're like, oh, Wemby didn't do too much. He had 19 points and 8 rebounds. Luka, 35 points, 9 rebounds, 13 assists, 5 steals, and 2 blocks. Like, good Lord, man. Doing a little bit of everything. Just a superstar. But the Mavs traded him because they are dumbasses. All right, let's get into some of your comments from yesterday's video, or 2 days ago. Just a reminder, like the video, hit the hype button, subscribe to the channel. Come on, let's boost these numbers. All right, Fergus Hart said, family. Perfect commentating on the game. If I'm the Celtics, on the lookout for some rebounding around the league. Yeah, we do need to. I mean, again, that's why it was a good sign yesterday. Attack the glass a little bit more. You love to see that. Okay, then Ojvan said, I think we should go for Ja in a low-price big that can rebound. I got to tell you, man, the Ja stuff looks funky. He's been back since the suspension in 2 games where he's like, numbers have been fine. I think he had like 18 and 5 last night in a loss to Houston, but the aggression is not there. I didn't see any comments after the game, but I don't know, man. I think there's a lot of risk to trying to go grab somebody for Ja. I don't think he necessarily fits the type of ball the Celtics play with. Like he's more of a pick and roll artist, right? And like, yeah, we can do that, but so much of the Celtics DNA is like slash, kick, shoot, right? So you need to be able to knock down the 3 ball, and that's just not his game. Also, like, I don't know. I mean, I'm a big Ja fan. I really like him. I like watching him play. I don't know if I'd like watching him play on our team, and maybe that's the wrong attitude to have, but I just like, does he age gracefully? Like his game, I mean, I'm not doing anything dumb here, but does he age gracefully in his game? Like, I just think about Derrick Rose, and Derrick Rose is probably a bad example because he just had catastrophic knee injuries, right? But just somebody that, relies so much on his athleticism. That's what made him dynamic, is the way that he can attack the rim and go after it. And I don't know if that, like, what would you be willing to give up? It would have to be a super buy low, right? I mean, maybe I'm overthinking it if you have Ja, JB, and Tatum, but if you're trying to include JB in this trade, get the hell out. I think JB is a better player than him. So I don't know. You know what I'll do? I'll do for tomorrow. I'll look for a couple of possibilities. Let's see. Chris said, after this 8-game sample, would it have been better if the Celtics kept Porzingis over grabbing Simons? I mean, I don't even think I understand the question. I don't even think that's it's worthwhile, only because it was more of a salary thing, right? They're just not like the Simons was an expiring deal to get us off of the Drew Holiday contract, right? Drew Holiday, by the way, just balling. Blazers gave the Thunder their first loss last night. Just balling. But so I don't think it was an option, even if we wanted it to be. I don't think it was an option, I guess is my point. All right, Puzzle Bearded did not like the coaching, said the best rebounder on the bench at the end of the game against the Jazz. What are we doing there? Yeah, that's fair. I mean, we didn't have our guys out there cooking. And then let's end with this one. Our guy Carlos said, JB is very intelligent and will figure it out. The Jazz was the worst loss so far, but I still think we make the playoffs. White and Pritchard will find their shot. Our losses have been very close, except for Houston. We'll be fine. Sticking for now with 50 wins. All right, well, you had me until the end. I don't know if 50's in the cards, but that's how we should end. That's nice and positive. You're right. They will find their shot. We'll be fine. You'll be fine. And I hope you have a great day. Thanks for tuning in to the Celtics Daily with me, Mike Zakarian. Hit that subscribe. We outskis.